So students send me the question, and these are the same question. Which project was launched by Union Textile Minister on Sustainable Fashion Day? What is the name of that project? Which country always hosts the annual Sultan Azlan Shah Hockey Cup? Sultan Azlan Shah Hockey Cup is hosted by which country every year? Vijay Ghat is the Samadhi Sthala, or the place of cremation of which Indian personality? Vijay Ghat. Mountain called Galliama, and is silent here. Mountain Galliama is located in which continent? Under the Hilton and Young Commission, which organization was set up? Hilton and Young Commission, which organization was set up? American President Donald Trump became which number American president to be impeached? Like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, like that. Which number American president was he to get impeached? There is a festival called Uttarayan. Now it is celebrated every year in which month? This festival is known by various names in various parts of India, but okay, which month? The month and the date is same in every part of India. Where is the headquarters of International Maritime Organization? IMO. Where is it headquartered? Now there is a dance called Maruni. Maruni dance is performed on the occasion of what? Very, very nice question. Maruni dance is performed on which occasion? And if you want, you can tell me the states also, or the countries where it is performed. Everything about it that you can tell me. The first person to win the Nobel Prize in Literature in English. Again, a very nice question. They are not asking you the first person to win Nobel Prize in Literature, but for English language, who was the first person to win the Nobel Prize in Literature? And that's a good question. Who was the first Indian to win All England Badminton Championship? All England Badminton Championship. Who was the first Indian to win it? Hanging of Afzal Guru. This book is written by which person? Hanging of Afzal Guru. Which ocean is the shallowest of the 5 major oceans of the world? Which means it has the least depth. Which ocean is the shallowest of the 5 major oceans of the world? Who was the first president of the Indian National Congress way back in 1885, the same year the Congress was founded? It held its first session. Who was the president of the first session? Bandar Abbas Port is in which country? Bandar Abbas Port, a significant port, in which country? Swami Vivekananda, he delivered his Chicago address at the World Conference of Religions in which year? So Swami Vivekananda, he gave his Chicago speech in which year? In which country will you find the port of Pasni? Again, a very good question. Port of Pasni is in which country? India's Look East policy was launched by which Prime Minister? There are two policies, right? Look East and Act East. Earlier it was Look East, then it was converted to Act East. So you can tell me both, like who gave the policy Act East and who gave the policy Look East. At which place was the Indian tricolor flag hoisted on 14th of April 1944 by the Indian National Army, INA, the army that was founded by Subhash Chandra Bose? At which place they unfurled the Indian tricolor? Turkey recently launched an attack on Kurds living in which country? Turkey attacked the Kurds living in which country? So these were the questions, and I was very impressed by the level of questions that was asked in the exam, and now I'll tell you the answers. So the project that was launched by Textile Minister Smriti Irani. Remember, Smriti Irani is not only the Textile Minister, but she's also the Minister for Women and Child Development. So she launched the project called Project SURE, SU.RE, SURE, and it stands for Sustainable Resolution. Project SURE stands for Sustainable Resolution. The country that is the host of the Sultan Azlan Shah Hockey Cup is Malaysia. It is organized every year in Malaysia. Vijay Ghat is related to our former Prime Minister, Mr. Lal Bahadur Shastri. And Lal Bahadur Shastri was also born on 2nd of October, and Mahatma Gandhi was also born on 2nd of October. So Vijay Ghat is related to Lal Bahadur Shastri, the former Prime Minister of India. Now can you tell me, Lal Bahadur Shastri, he died in which country? When he died, he was in which city? Write down in comments. The mountain called Galliama, it is also called Mountain Stanley. Now does this name ring a bell? Mountain Galliama, Mountain Stanley, they both are the same. It is located, of course, in Africa. Hilton and Young Commission led to the setting up of Reserve Bank of India, RBI, because this was the commission that recommended that India should have a central bank. America's President Donald Trump became the 3rd American president to be impeached. Now before him, Andrew Johnson and Bill Clinton, they were impeached. Uttarayan festival is celebrated on 15th of January every year, so the answer is January. We call it by different name. For example, in North India we call it Makar Sankranti, in Gujarat we call it Uttarayan. There are different names in different parts of India. 15th of January. The headquarters of International Maritime Organization is in London, capital of England, London. London is also the headquarters of Amnesty International. Maruni is a dance which is performed by the Nepali people, and therefore India has significant number of Nepali people in Sikkim, in Darjeeling. So even in Sikkim and Darjeeling, this is a very popular dance, Maruni dance. It is performed on the occasion of Deepavali. In India, what we call Deepavali, they call it the Festival of Tihar. It is the same, absolutely same. Festival of Tihar or Deepavali. Maruni dance is performed. The first person to win Nobel Prize in Literature in English language is Rudyard Kipling, the same person who wrote the Jungle Book. Everyone's favorite, the Jungle Book was written by Rudyard Kipling. The first Indian to win All England Badminton Championship was Prakash Padukone. For those who don't know who he is father of Deepika Padukone. Mr. Prakash Padukone was a legendary badminton player of his time. Hanging of Afzal Guru is written by Arundhati Roy. Arundhati Roy. This book is about the trial of Afzal Guru. The ocean that is the shallowest is the Arctic Ocean. It is the smallest and the shallowest. And there are 5 major oceans, Indian Ocean, Arctic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, and Southern Ocean. These are the 5 oceans. The first president of the Indian National Congress was Vomesh Chandra Banerjee. Vomesh Chandra Banerjee in 1885. And of course, the Indian Congress was founded by Alan Octavian Hume, A.O. Hume. Bandar Abbas Port you will find actually in Iran. Shahid Beheshti Port, also called Chabar Port, and Bandar Abbas Port, Iran. Swami Vivekananda delivered his Chicago address in 1893. Port of Pasni you will find in Pakistan. Important port in Pakistan is Port of Pasni. India's Look East policy was launched by P.V. Narasimha Rao, our Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao. And he became the Prime Minister after the death of Rajiv Gandhi. That was in 1991, Rajiv Gandhi was killed, and then Narasimha Rao was made the Prime Minister. So he launched the Look East policy, and it was converted to Act East policy by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So Narendra Modi converted Look East to Act East. The place at which Indian tricolor was unfurled is Moirang, and Moirang is in Bishnupur district of Manipur. It is in Bishnupur district of Manipur, Moirang. Turkey launched an attack on the Kurds living in Syria, of course. Syria. So these were the questions, and you can see that the questions were not easy by any means. Even for the most seasoned, for the most intelligent, will find definitely challenging. Okay, now let's do the current affairs of today. Who will receive the prestigious French honor called Chevalier? You just have to remember it is called Knight Honor of France, which is one of the highest civilian honors of France. It will be given to Sanjana Kapoor. Sanjana Kapoor is daughter of Shashi Kapoor. Shashi Kapoor. And Sanjana Kapoor will be given this award for her outstanding contribution in the field of theatre. The limit of termination of pregnancy has been increased to how many weeks under the approved medical termination of pregnancy bill? So the women, they were allowed to have an abortion earlier till 20 weeks. Now this has been increased to 24 weeks. So it gives the woman to get the baby aborted, that is medical termination of pregnancy. Now till 24 weeks they can go for it. So no permission is required. And remember, earlier it was 20 weeks, so it has been increased from 20 to 24. This bill is essentially about expanding the access of women to safe and legal abortion services. So it's in a way women empowerment. The Indian Navy has launched which operation to help cyclone-hit Madagascar? Recently, cyclone hit Madagascar, and this cyclone is called Cyclone Diane, D-I-A-N-E. So you can be asked, Cyclone Diane hit which country? Recently, answer you know very well. Madagascar. Madagascar's capital is Antananarivo. It is located in the Indian Ocean. And remember, India has sent the ship called INS Kavaratti to help Madagascar. The ship that India has sent is the INS Kavaratti. This operation is called Operation Vanilla. Also remember, Admiral Karambir Singh is the chief of the Indian Navy. The government of India and the state government of Assam, they recently signed a three-party agreement with which tribal group? This tribal group is Bodo. So this was signed between the government of Assam, the central government, and the National Democratic Front of Bodoland, NDFB. Remember the name of this organization, National Democratic Front of Bodoland. It's like a peace accord. These people will not protest in a violent manner, and the government will also see out their interest. So it's a peace deal basically. Who has taken charge as the new Foreign Secretary of India? Remember, Harshvardhan Shringla has become the new Foreign Secretary of India. Earlier he was the ambassador to America, but now the new ambassador of America who will replace Harshvardhan Shringla is Taranjit Singh Sandhu. And Taranjit Singh Sandhu, he was the ambassador to Sri Lanka, but now he will be the ambassador of India to America. And he will replace Vijay Keshav Gokhale. Which among the following has developed the Bhuvan Panchayat for better planning and monitoring of the government projects? Bhuvan Panchayat is an initiative of Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, and this is for better planning and monitoring of the government project. Basically, ISRO will collaborate with the Gram Panchayat members to understand their data requirements, and ISRO will fulfill them. ISRO recently set up, there is a place called Chevalier in Chitradurga district of Karnataka, and ISRO recently set up Human Space Flight Center there. ISRO, by the way, also set up a regional academic center in NIT Surat recently. According to the research company Gartner, the worldwide smartphone sales was declined by what percent in 2019? It is the first time since 2008 that the smartphone sales have actually declined. So there was a decrease of 2%. Remember that the sales, they are expected to touch 1.57 billion units, that is 157 crore mobile phones will be sold in 2020. This is the projection. That is, the mobile phone sales will increase by 3% in 2020. So they can also ask you, according to the research from Gartner, the mobile phone sales will increase in 2020 by what percent compared to 2019? The answer is 3%. The Supreme Court has allowed the central government to introduce which species of cheetah to suitable habitat in India? The cheetah will be reintroduced. Actually, cheetah used to be there in India, right? But for the last 70-80 years, cheetah has not been spotted. So cheetah is no longer found in India. And now cheetah will be introduced in India, and it is the Namibian cheetah. So it is the African cheetah. It will be brought from Namibia. Now there is still some doubt about where they will keep the cheetah. So there are a lot of places which have been suggested, like for example, Noradehi Wildlife Sanctuary in Madhya Pradesh, the Kuno Palpur National Park in Madhya Pradesh. Now final where they will bring remains to be seen. But both the names have been suggested. Noradehi Wildlife Sanctuary in Madhya Pradesh and Palpur Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh. And Palpur Kuno, remember, even the lion introduction has been done in Kuno Palpur. Lions were brought from Gir National Park in Gujarat. Which defense public sector unit they will deliver INS Kavaratti to the Navy? INS Kavaratti will be delivered by Garden Reach Shipbuilder and Engineer. This company is called GRSE. It is headquartered in Kolkata, and it is the first company to deliver 100 warships to the Indian Navy and the Indian Coast Guard. Kavaratti is an anti-submarine warfare stealth corvette. So this can destroy submarines. It is an anti-submarine warfare stealth corvette. Remember, it is the 104th ship to be built by GRSE and to be delivered to the Indian Navy. This project is called Project P28. Project P28. Who was bestowed with the title Punjab Kesari and Lion of Punjab? These titles were given to Lala Lajpat Rai, and you know that Punjab Kesari is a newspaper which is about Lala Lajpat Rai. He was called Kesari. He was called Lion of Punjab. And you have to understand that it was his 155th birth anniversary recently that was celebrated on 28th of January, and that is why I'm asking this question. Lala Lajpat Rai, he was a nationalist, and he founded several institutions and organizations like Hisar Arya Samaj, Hisar Congress, National DAB Managing Committee and all that. So 28th January was his birth anniversary, 155th birth anniversary. India's first underwater metro in Kolkata will be ready by March when? So remember, it will take 3 more years. It will be ready by March 2022. Now we are approaching March 2020, so it will take 2 more years. Not 3, it will take 2 more years. And Kolkata Metro Rail Corporation will complete their project. It will be built over Hooghly River. That also you have to remember. In fact, Kolkata is located on the bank of Hooghly River. Hooghly River is a distributary of Ganga River. Distributary means the river that takes water away from a river is distributary, and the river that adds water to a river is tributary. So Hooghly is a distributary because it takes water away from river Ganga. The country's first Super Fab Lab was inaugurated in which state? Super Fab Lab will give a push to the hardware industry, and this was launched recently in Kochi in Kerala. In Kochi, the Upharan military exercise was also carried out by the Indian Navy and Indian Coast Guard recently. Upharan and Global Ayurveda Summit also took place in Kochi. Britain has minted a new pence coin. What is a pence coin? So the currency of Britain is pound, and the lower form of pound is pence. Like for example, in India we have rupee, which is the larger denomination, and paisa is the smaller denomination. Similarly, you have pound, which is a larger denomination, and pence, which is the smaller denomination. So of which denomination to mark the country's departure from European Union? You know this was effective 31st January 2019, and 50 pence coin has been minted. 50 pence coin. And what is written over that coin? Peace, prosperity, and friendship with all nations. Peace, prosperity, and friendship with all nations. Brexit is done. Relentless. It is an autobiography of which politician? It was recently launched. Remember, former President of India, Pranab Mukherjee, he released this autobiography. So it is an autobiography of former Finance Minister of India and former Foreign Minister of India, Yashwant Sinha. Sunita Chandra passed away. She was associated with which sport? First of all, you have to remember she was a sports person. And then she was a former hockey team captain. So the answer is hockey. She represented India in hockey. Also, eminent Assamese literature, Assamese writer Sashi Sarma passed away. Sashi Sarma. Which company has announced to grant $1 million to promote news literacy among Indians to avoid spreading of misinformation? It is Google. So Google is giving a grant of $1 million to promote news literacy among Indians to prevent fake news. As per the report by Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, which is in Stockholm, capital of Sweden, which country is the world's second largest arms producer? So remember, after America, the world's largest arms producer now, China has become. So the answer is China. Bombay Shaving Company has appointed which Bollywood actor as their brand ambassador? Bombay Shaving is a male grooming product manufacturer. They have announced Kartik Aaryan will be their brand ambassador. Famous actor Kartik Aaryan. Which company has built the C448? It's a high-speed interceptor boat of the Indian Coast Guard. C448 has been built by Larsen & Toubro Shipyard. Larsen & Toubro Shipyard. And this boat will give a flip to the Indian Coast Guard. It will help the Indian Coast Guard for patrolling and for their day-to-day operations. Recently, what number of wetlands in India were declared as Ramsar sites? So remember, 10 more have been added. India had 27, now 10 more. So total India has now 37 Ramsar sites. Now remember, out of these new 10, okay, 3 have been given to Punjab, 1 to Maharashtra, and 6 to UP. 3 to Punjab. Punjab already had 3, so Punjab now has 6. In fact, Maharashtra has had the first ever site. So that is Nandur Madhameshwar. Nandur Madhameshwar Bird Sanctuary is a first for Maharashtra, first ever Ramsar site in Maharashtra. Punjab had 3 already, and the new 3 that have been added are Keshapur Miani Community Reserve, Vyas Conservation Reserve, and Nangal Wildlife Sanctuary. So all of these are very important because these are the wildlife sanctuary and wetlands that have been used now. So they can ask you, in UP had 1, now 6 more have been added. So Nawabganj Bird Sanctuary, Parvati Agra Bird Sanctuary, Saman Bird Sanctuary, Samaspur Bird Sanctuary, Sandi Bird Sanctuary, and Sarsai Nawar Lake. These are the places in UP which have been declared a Ramsar site. So very, very important.